What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, before we start the video, I just want to give a very quick shout out to IMG. Not that they need it, but they hooked me up, me and a friend, with VIP tickets for Wimbledon yesterday. And it was fucking immense, people. Immense. I don't know if you guys are tennis fans or if you've ever been to Wimbledon, but regardless, even if you're not a tennis fan, just the experience is amazing. And I can't lie to you, VIP hospitality was just... I felt like a millionaire for about, what time did we get there? We got there at 12, we left at 9, literally when it finished. So I felt like a millionaire for about 9 hours. And then I got on the train, got home, got to my one-bedroom flat, and realization kicked in that I'm not a millionaire. But it was amazing. We got to see Roger Federer, we got to see Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, we drank champagne, strawberries and cream. I asked them actually, how much would that ticket be worth that I got? And £3,500. £3,500. So yeah, Wimbledon yesterday, hence why there was no videos. All right, let's talk about Bryant Jennings, Joe Joyce, or Joe Joyce versus Bryant Jennings. Did any of you guys see the final presser or head-to-head yesterday? You don't have to watch the whole presser, you will fall asleep, but the head-to-head was just, I don't know. People might diss me here, but it was awful, right? It's obvious that they must have asked Joe Joyce to do something in the head-to-head, right? It happens. We know it happens. Promoters have openly admitted that they've told people to maybe hype a fight up, do something at a presser. And Joe Joyce and Bryant Jennings were head-to-head, and Joe Joyce pushed Bryant Jennings. And it was just, I remember watching it laughing. It was like, he pushed him. It wasn't like it was like, and it was just pathetic. And Bryant Jennings pushed back. I just thought, oh God. And I feel bad. Look, Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois get a lot of stick about their personality, right? On one hand, I feel bad. On the other hand, I agree with it. The reason I feel bad is because we don't ask this of other sports people, right? I mean, other sports people are boring as fuck. I mean, there are some footballers who can't even conduct a 5-minute post-match interview. And they're just judged on what they do on the pitch. Same as tennis players, same as NBA stars. But boxers, it's like you're not just judged on what you do in the ring, you're judged on how you do it in the ring. And now you're judged on your personality outside of the ring and your ability to sell a fight. And it's hard. But Joe Joyce has no personality. None. I mean, Daniel Dubois looks like a bloody A-list actor compared to Joe Joyce. That's how bad Joe Joyce is at personality and trying to sell a fight. And they might need to work on this. Some people might laugh and joke about this, but they need to work on this. If they want Joe Joyce to sell a fight, and he's going to have to, right? Long gone are the days where a promoter sells the fight. If he was with Eddie Hearn and David Hayes still, they could do it for him, but he's not, right? And so he's got to do it himself. I mean, his manager, Sam Jones, is a bit cringy, I think. So it's got to be Joe Joyce, and he can't do it. And I don't know why they don't give him training or some sort. They've got to do something, because if he is to become, and look, they want him, don't get it twisted, BT Sports want him to become a pay-per-view attraction. I mean, he's got to sell a fight. He's got to sell a fight. Proof's in the pudding. If you talk, you will get paid. It's fact. I mean, you look at all the boxers that have done well in the UK, not the Joshuas, but I'm talking the Tyson Furies, the Tony Bellews. I mean, even look at someone like Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora, what's he lost, 8 or 9 times? He's probably floating around, what is he, 25 to 30? Realistically, if I was to properly put down my top 20, I don't think he would make my top 20. So he's around 25 to 30. Guarantee you, Derek Chisora is making more than some guys in the top 10. I guarantee you that Derek Chisora is probably getting the same amount of money as someone like a Kubrat Pulev, who's a top 10. And that's because Derek Chisora sells himself. So it does help. So they do need to work on Joe Joyce's selling ability, because it is bad. All right, let's talk about the fight. This is a good fight. I done a video about this fight 3 months ago when I first heard rumors of it. And there are other names being linked. I think Eric Molina was being linked. I think even Chris Arreola was being linked. But this is definitely the best name out of those 3, Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings is an interesting character. He's a guy that's only lost to decent fighters. So he's lost to who? He's lost to Oscar Rivas, Klitschko, which was a close fight, and Luis Ortiz. That isn't bad, but he's getting to a stage where he's now becoming a gatekeeper. right? He's at that Carlos Takam stage, I think, now, where I think he'll give a good fight to the top guys, but he will never beat the top guys. But he could definitely beat the guys in and around the top 20. And this is why I think it's a decent matchup. He will look at it and think Joe Joyce isn't as good as Rivas, Klitschko, or Ortiz. So he'll look at the fight a bit differently than we do. He'll probably look at it thinking, this is where I am, this is the kind of fighter I should be beating. He'll make a fantastic trainer, by the way. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Bryant Jennings talk. I mean, this guy knows the game inside out. And he'll probably become a better trainer than a boxer. But I do think he's a fringe world level guy, kind of where Joe Joyce is, just maybe. And that makes it a 50-50 fight for me. He moves better than Joe Joyce. He doesn't have the power, obviously isn't as big. Good boxer, technically. I can kind of see what he's doing, so he's a bit predictable in what he does. And his gas tank does run empty a bit towards the end. Even the fights that he's won, he does seem to struggle when it gets past round 9. And I don't know if that's due to, and I don't know the science of it. I don't know if it's because he's a vegan. I don't have protein sources. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm not sure. But I think they'll tell you that protein and all that kind of stuff does help. And he doesn't obviously eat any protein. So I don't know if that's due to that, but he does struggle. Whereas Joe Joyce, I don't know. He looks like he's got a bit of a gas tank. He is slow. He is ploddy. But he has got punch power. And he has decent boxing ability. I don't think, for an Olympian, I don't think he's the best boxer. But he's got decent boxing ability. He's got a very basic 1-2. But it's a very good 1-2 as well. He's now with Adam Booth. So they've obviously been working on his movement. So he's a bit better. But I think if you're stiff, you're just stiff, right? I don't see what they can do. That's it for me. I mean, he's not... If he was 21, 22, then I'd say, you know what, yeah, by the time he gets to 25, if he continues to do what he's doing, then you never know. But he's with the best trainer, I think, when it comes to movement. I mean, look at some of the fighters with Adam Booth, and they're all about movement. I mean, obviously now it's Josh Kelly and Ryan Burnett, but before George Groves, before David Haye, all these guys are about movement. So if anyone can help him, it's Adam Booth. But I think it's a decent fight. I mean, this will be the toughest fight Joe Joyce has had. It's way tougher than Bermane Stiverne and anything beforehand, Ustinov. Bryant Jennings is live. He doesn't come to lie down. He doesn't just come for a paycheck. He'll be thinking that a Joe Joyce victory can kickstart him again into world contention, or at least get him in the mix of fighting guys in and around the top 15. Even in his losses, he puts up a bloody good effort. So I want to say Joe Joyce's favourite, but I don't know. I'm going to say Joe Joyce. Is this a 10 or 12 rounder? If this is a 12 rounder, I'm going to say Joe Joyce, late stoppage, 11. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if Bryant Jennings won this. I mean, if it goes to the scorecards, Bryant Jennings could get robbed. He could. Understandably, that's how it works now. We all just accept it, don't we? It's fucking fucked up how we accept foreign fighters traveling to any... It's not just UK or US, anywhere, basically. And you expect the home person to get the decision, even though the judges are international. It's just fucking corrupt. But yeah, I'm going Joe Joyce, late stoppage, but I wouldn't be shocked if Bryant Jennings gets the points. If you haven't, by the way, after all this ramble, seen that press conference, watch it, please, and tell me I'm not being a cock. Because that push is like a robot malfunctioning. It's a fucking robot. He needs to bring David Haye back to be his spokesperson right now. Like now. If he doesn't, don't know. Peace.